You had Coach K in the building.
Yeah.
I saw that you don't look at Twitter, but it always cracks me up about how you players, they don't care about that rivalry stuff. They know that's a guy who's won 5 championships. He has good things to say, and they seem pretty hyped to talk to him.
It was amazing. You get a chance to be around people that I call greatness, really. When you've done what you've done, that's the title you get. Mm-hmm. And he, offered to come by and share some of his, wisdom. That's a slam dunk, right? So he was great, and the guys really appreciated it, and, it's a memory.
One thing that Joe and I always talk about, and Coach K has talked about, you learn that the standard is the standard, and where they're trying to get what they need to do, and the difficult part is to keep doing it. And the sense that I'm getting going into this camp is different than other camps. It's almost like you paused it in a way that you didn't want it to end, and it's like, let's get right back to it. This seems very business-like, more so than other preseasons.
Well, I would hope that they were all like that, but that's the goal. I mean, that's the idea behind it. And, you go back to talking about Coach K and how he built that program. I feel like, there's a lot of similarities in how, that he's got to the top and the standards were raised, and then he kept it there. Mm-hmm. And that's really what, we're trying to do here. And, obviously we got a ways to go to accomplish what they've achieved, but that's the goal.
Mike is probably not a hockey guy, but he said that you guys were good enough to win the whole thing. So you're a process guy. Where do those outside expectations factor into your process?
Yeah, he actually talked about that. We had a good little talk before he went with the guys, and it was great to share that because that's been his life for the last 30 years. Was they got to win every game, mm-hmm. And but that's what you want. Like you want to be that team and because it actually makes you better because you know that everyone's coming after you. And it's true. Everyone played that team. I don't care what it was. That was their game. So it keeps you sharp, and it makes you a better team at the end. And that's a great way to look at it.
I don't remember you as a gambler, but did you know that you are the actual betting favorite to win?
You can't not. Everyone talks about it. I mean, I'd really put nothing in that because the year we won, we were picked 30th.
Sure.
So,
well, no, you were picked 30th by Sports Illustrated. This is the actual guys who know shit. There is some validity to this one.
Yeah, it changes. That'll change, I'm sure, week to week. But
for sure.
It goes to our other point. It means we're relevant. We're doing something right. And we got to just, obviously, it is what it is. We know we got to go out there and do it.
Speaking of it is what it is, you don't have an AHL affiliate. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious how you're going to balance the roster math going into this season.
Yeah, you've talked about it, and I'm sure with Don. And like that's their issue.
I know their perspective. I'm curious your perspective.
I don't really. I lose zero sleep over it.
Okay.
Other than I hated the other day when we were talking to the kids and you're going here, you're going there, and that wasn't great. That was not ideal for them to be split up, and that makes it tough on them. But for our group and in general, what we're doing here, and then you hope that we don't even see any of those guys. Really, we hope everyone stays healthy, and so it's not that big a deal for us.
I am curious about the process with Felix Unger-Soren, right? Youngest kid drafted. I know people were hyped to see him in camp, and people were excited about it. You don't have Svechnikov available. Yeah. So what was the thought process in keeping him here for a few games before sending him back versus just saying, hey, look, we'll get back to you later?
You're on it. I mean, there was a thought that maybe that's your guy you keep around for, a little while until Svech comes back.
That's 9 games, right?
Yeah, you had that window. Probably, we definitely beat that around. I'll just put it that way. And then, I looked at him. He just turned 18, and you kind of want to make sure it was a positive experience, which it was, and send him home with that versus what might happen when we don't really need him. So there's a lot that went into the decision. I think we made the right one.
Okay. And then with Svechnikov specifically, how do you balance? Clearly he wants to play, but you also want him at 100%.
Yeah,
and
it's October.
And it's October.
Yeah, that's
so how do you handle that?
Well, it's I give him credit. He's worked so hard, but he's actually matured on this because I think if this would have happened a couple of years ago, he'd be like, I'm playing. Mm-hmm. And now he realizes, okay, it's not quite right. I'm going to trust what people are telling me and how I feel, because he doesn't feel exactly right. He's there. You watch him practice, but you would never know that there's something wrong with him. Like I'm like, what? Let's get him out here. But then he's like, it's not quite right, and the tests show that.
Okay.
So it's not quite right. Like, is it close? Yeah. I mean, we're talking. Like, I'm like, let's go. But this is good. We're making the right decision.
Okay.
You're about to be in hockey mode forever, and I get that. I'm gonna catch you here on the right day.
Maybe.
I think I got you on the right day. The biggest story in college football has been Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And I have been arguing, he just wants to coach his kids. I think that's what he wants to do. You had a chance to play against your son in the preseason. What was that like, and would you love to coach him?
Yeah,
because you are getting ready to go coach pros.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. No, listen, if there's nothing better than watching your kids do stuff that they love, and if they're good at it, it's even better. So, in the case with Skyler, I was really happy for him because I know what he's put in. Like, I've been there, and he's since a kid, and all the things that he's done to get that. And it's a preseason game, I know, but still, it was there. And now he's trying to carve out his own way and see if he can get in a real game someday. But for that night and for a preseason game, it added some.
That's cool.
Some juice to it. Yeah. Like, normally it's like, we're trying to get through them, and now it was actually fun to watch him enjoy kind of all the hard work. And so you go back to your other point about Deion. I think he's the same in the sense that his kids are good at what they're doing. Yeah. It'd be different if they were,
Jordan's kids.
Whatever. Whoever. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just saying, some of them can't handle it.
They're elite. And he's trying to help them get to the next level, and that's a different kind of story there.
I liked how you put the end of the scrum. I'm not watching tonight because I got youth as well. So, but we've talked about this. You're in a different mode here, but when you come back to this building, you're in a completely different mode there too, right?
Yeah. Well, you got kids playing.
Yeah. Well, the issue that I have now is working through some disappointment.
Oh yeah.
He's dealing with some disappointment right now. Yeah. But I'm not a coach. I'm just like, look, man, get back after the next day. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, but at every level they have that, right? It's kids have to deal with it. But I enjoy being around the kids. They love it. Mm-hmm. They're not doing it for anything, but they love doing what they're doing. They're not every 2 weeks looking at it. That's why I do it. They do it because they're passionate about it, and you can make a difference, right? Yeah. You can help a lot more at that age than I can at this age.
It's that perspective is funny. I was actually talking to Sunheim about it because Charlie's a goalie, and he's like, they lost the other day, but Charlie came off the ice happy because he's like, I had so many shots today. And you're like, oh, okay, you got action. That's what he's happy about, right?
Yeah. No, and you'd be surprised as you know what they say at those games. Like you get a different perspective. It actually, it's enjoyable to just see kids have fun, because we are a business and it's not always fun. And coaching kids is fun.
We appreciate the time as always.
Of course.
We'll be seeing you around.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.